Hi friends, welcome back to my Cozy Crafty Cabin. It is day 12 of my Christmas in July crafty series, and today we are making some tea for two booklets is what I'm calling them, but they can also be used for gift cards, and I am obsessed. Okay, so here's the supplies you're going to need to make these booklets. You're going to use 8.5 by 11 cardstock, but you're going to cut it down to 10 1/8 inches by 4 1/4 inches. So you'll be able to get two of these booklet bases from one sheet of your 8.5 by 11 cardstock. And here I just kind of wrote down what size each of the sides of the booklet end up measuring out to be after you score it. Now you're gonna use three pieces of paper that measure 3 by 4 inches. These are gonna be your mats, and then two that measure just slightly smaller at 2 3/4 and 4 inches. So this is a great project for your 3 by 4 cut aparts or journaling cards, and that was like my intention with this project. So those are the cut aparts I'm using. It's from this journaling pack from Prima that I'm trying to use up. And then for your pockets, these are made from coin envelopes that I picked up from Dollar Tree. So they come in three sizes. This is the smallest size. That's about, I think, 2 1/4 by 3.5 inches. And I added some stamps. So this little teacup from My Favorite Things by Echo Park, and this stamp from Mug Hugs by Sunny Studio. But you can embellish this and decorate it like, you know, exactly however you would like. I'm just keeping it pretty simple with some stamps. So let me show you. So I already have my base cut and scored, but so once you're going to cut it in half, right, on the 8.5 inch side, so it's 4 1/4, and then trim it down to 10 1/8 inches on the 11 inch side. And on the 10 1/8 inch side, you're going to make 4 score lines. So at 3 1/4, 3 5/8, 6 7/8, and 7 1/8. And that leaves you with two spines, so like the left spine slightly bigger at 3/8 of an inch, and the right spine's at 1/4 of an inch. Now, okay, so that's your base, right? So you'll make those 4 score lines, you'll fold down on those lines, and you got your base. So now let's make our cute little pockets for our tea bags. So one pocket's going to be 3 by 2 inches, and the other one's going to be slightly smaller at 2 3/4 by 2 inches. So you're going to take 2 of the coin envelopes. Now these are a little too big, like a little too long. So how I solved that problem is that I made a score line, you know, at 3 inches, and then the other one at 2 3/4 inches. And that's going to become like my new fold line where I fold the envelope and then seal it. There might be an easier way to do this, but this is what I ended up doing. So yeah, I'm scoring the one envelope that I want to be 3 by 2 at 3 inches. And then on the long side, scoring at 3 inches. And then the other one, I'm going to score it at 2 3/4 inches. And then we're just going to fold on those lines and seal our envelopes. So this is my way. Listen, you can just make your own pockets. You don't have to use these coin envelopes. I am just being lazy and I don't want to make my own pockets. I want to use something else. So, and I thought these coin envelopes worked really well. Even though they were a little bit big for our booklet bases, I just kind of solved that by, right, just folding it a little bit deeper than how they were originally cut. So, okay, so we scored our coin envelopes, we folded it on the score lines, and now we're going to just add adhesive to seal them. And then we have to make a small cut on them because they're a little bit over 2 inches wide. So yeah, these pockets end up being a perfect size for your tea bags, and they also would work great for gift cards, like your standard gift cards that are like a credit card size. But yeah, this makes me want to have like a little, like host a little Christmas tea party and make these and with like a few girlfriends, and I think that'd be so cute and so fun. But you know what, these would be great too for little favors, and they don't have to be Christmas theme, right? You can do them in any theme you want. But little favors for like a baby shower or a bridal shower, I think that would be so sweet. Or even just, yeah, like a tea party. Maybe you're having like a birthday party that's like a tea party theme. That would be really cute. So, okay, so we're gonna, once we seal our envelopes, we're gonna cut them down to 2 inches on the, I think it's like 2 1/4 roughly side. And then that makes our opening for these pockets. So yeah, just cutting both of them just a little smidge off the side there. And then I take, I believe it's a 1-inch circle punch, and I'm eyeballing the center and going down about like halfway and punching out like a half circle notch on each of these. And this just makes it a little bit easier to slide your tea bags in and out. But yeah, pretty easy. So we have our 2 pockets, and then yeah, I just kept them pretty simple and added a couple stamps, but you can embellish these however you like. Alright, so now that we got all of our pieces made, and you want to add adhesive to the back of all of your mats and the back of your pockets, and it's time to just glue everything down to your booklet base. So yeah, this is a perfect project if you have 3x4 cut aparts, if you have 3x4 journaling cards, but you don't, obviously you don't have to use those, especially if you don't have them. You can just, you know, cut down any paper to your 3x4. These are, yeah, 3x4. And then the smaller ones are 2 3/4 by 4 inch mats. But yeah, I think it's a perfect project though for those. Like, I know if you're like me, I have tons of 3x4 cut aparts because I like using them for cards and things like that too. But yeah, so pretty easy, right? Now we're just gluing down our mats, and then we'll glue down our pockets, and we are pretty much done. Just remember that 2 of your mats, so you know what, 1, 2, 3 of them are going to be your regular 3x4 size, but then 2 of them are going to be slightly smaller at 2 3/4 by 4. So you're just cutting off a 1/4 inch on the 3-inch sides for 2 of them, just because that right side of your booklet is a little bit smaller than the left side, and that's just so that the booklet will, you know, close nicely. But yeah, I loved how these turned out. I love how simple they are and how quickly you can put them together. But yeah, you could totally, you know, decorate this with stickers or ephemera. You can keep it simple, or you can, you know, jazz it up however you like. And yeah, it holds your tea bags. Like I have 2 different sizes here that it holds perfectly, but then a gift card would be perfect too. here's a final recap of the Tea for Two booklets, one that I first made off camera and then one that we made today on camera. The first one I made, my spines were slightly smaller and I realized it was a little too small, so I adjusted it for today's video. But yeah, thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.